What's going on, y'all? I'm David with RV Family.Life, and recently I revealed to you kind of my testimony about what Tanya and I eat in regards to our carnivore diet, and that raised a lot of comments and some really good questions. And so I wanted to touch on those real quick, just to kind of help anybody that, may have had the questions that didn't bother to ask. So one of the first questions was, are you worried about your cholesterol? Now, let's wind it back real quick in case you're new to this whole thing. Tanya, myself, and our oldest daughter, Kaylin, participate in what's called the carnivore diet, where we primarily only eat meat. Our diet consists of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. We do add in some chicken, occasionally a little bit of tomato sauce, try to make sure we've got clean ingredients. That's pretty much the gist of it. I probably eat way too much cheese on top of that. A lot of people raise the question of, that doesn't sound healthy, but Tanya and I have done it now well over a year. We've both lost about 70 pounds each. Health-wise, we feel so much better. So back to the question about cholesterol. Are you worried about your cholesterol? Because that's something that doctors and hospitals preach, is that you need to have a lower cholesterol. In fact, it's been kind of a moving target. I think from the first time that I had super high cholesterol when I was in my 20s, and the doctor was like, you need to be about 150. Later on, I heard that now they want you to get it below 100. Now, where this is coming from is that they have medicine called a statin that can suppress your cholesterol and lower it. If you're paying any attention to medicine, medicine is expensive, right? And usually when a doctor puts you on medicine, the doctor usually tells you once you start taking this, you'll have to take it the rest of your life. When you start traveling down some of these paths, the path we've gone down feels very much like a conspiracy theory. It's absolutely true. But we follow certain doctors that have left behind the standard medical practices and pursued these carnivore lifestyles. And they've brought a lot of science with them. And the one that I really rely heavy on for the science part of it would be Dr. Anthony Chaffee. And he talks a lot about the fact that you don't need to have lower cholesterol. So for the most part, cholesterol is a building block for a lot of what's going on with your health. Vitamin D is something that is made from cholesterol. Your body has cholesterol in it. Your body actually makes cholesterol on its own, even if you don't consume some. And then you go out and you get exposure to the sunshine, and that transfer, the UV rays with your skin, converts the cholesterol into vitamin D. A lot of autoimmune disorders, as well as psychological disorders, are because of a vitamin D deficiency. Do you see where I'm going with this? So a vitamin D deficiency coming from a lack of cholesterol. Come on, make the connection with me, shall you? Please join me. That is causing a lot of our disorders in this country and on Earth. But for the most part, things are a lot worse in America because we've allowed drug companies and food companies to run rampant with how governance is handled in this country. Far worse than any other country. Now, vitamin D is not the only thing that cholesterol uses as a building block. Yeah, also your hormones. Specifically what I follow would be testosterone. So I know people personally, they take statins, they lower their cholesterol levels, then their doctors are like, hey, your testosterone levels are kind of low. Let's put you on another drug to boost your testosterone. Just take out the cholesterol blocking and your testosterone levels will soar. You don't need to reduce your cholesterol, period. If you want more research, want more data, there's plenty available from Dr. Anthony Chaffee, as well as Dr. Ken Berry. They can provide you all the scientific data that you need. There is no scientific proof linking cholesterol with heart disease and heart attacks. I know those seem like bold claims. That is what they're telling me, and I believe them. Because I can honestly tell you, after living this lifestyle for well over a year, I used to have feelings of pressure and pain occasionally in my chest. It was always a fear. I kind of lived this life that I was probably going to stop existing at about the age of 45. I thought that would be the end for me. I was blessed to make it past 45, made it a few years beyond 45 now. And I can tell you from the way I feel that I no longer have any kind of these chest pains that I used to have. Well, you would have to assume that with the amount of bacon, eggs, and beef, red meat, nice and fatty red meat that I eat, that I have higher cholesterol levels. Now, Tani does want to get our blood work done, and I said, okay, we will do that when we get back to Texas and end our travels for this year. So I can't tell you exactly what they are right now, but I can tell you that as soon as a doctor gets their hands on it, what are they going to try to do? They're going to try to sell me statins. And why do they do that? Money. They want money. They buy into that whole thing, where majority of the doctors aren't in it to make sure you're healthy. The majority of the doctors are in it for money. That's why their mamas pushed them into medical school when they were little, because they wanted them to be successful and be able to buy a nice house to provide for their families in the future. It makes sense, right? Absolutely. But you just need to remember that when it comes time to do what's best for your health, is that most of these doctors that, I'm scared to go with a broken arm into a hospital for fear that they're going to test my cholesterol and try to put me on statins. Like, what? So those are I gave you two strong examples of why you don't want to have your cholesterol lowered. So another question that I see brought up, or fact or thought all the time, is about fiber. How on earth do you survive without fiber? Fiber you're getting typically from all your vegetables, maybe from your fruits as well. And I can tell you, after a year, that fiber ain't nothing but fart power. It's not doing anything for you. Medical professionals tell us that if we don't have fiber, that we will surely die of constipation. I've yet to die of constipation after a year. You would think if that was going to happen within the first 21 days, I probably would have been in so much pain from constipation that I would have sought some kind of help. That never happened. If you think this through for a moment, this gets kind of TMI, just think this through. A lot of people, when they start this diet, or just in general, they consume maybe too much fat and they're eating other stuff, right? Let's say you're not even carnivore, you just had a lot of excess fat. Your stool was probably a little looser than usual. So when you start out in carnivore, you tend to have a lot of that as you're first starting, right? Okay, I know that's TMI. But as you get used to it and your body heals and everything's working normally, that too much fat, because that becomes the majority of your diet, and the protein that you're consuming, your body either uses it all up or it's nice and easy to come out. So you don't need the fiber. The fiber is just a waste. And for the most part, the fiber is working against you because it's actually pushing, right? So you consumed a bunch of vitamins that you want in your system, and they need to sit in your intestines for a while and absorb those vitamins into your system. But the fiber won't let that happen, because the fiber's like, we gotta go. We gotta go, 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 go. And now it took perfectly good material and pushed it out of you before your body had the chance to utilize it all. So, do you need fiber? No, you don't need fiber. And some people, they try to preach that eating too much red meat will give you diverticulitis. This is a theory I'll put together on my own, but knowing that fiber is just gaseous and just kind of blows you out. If you remove the fiber, you don't have all the gaseous. You get my point? So if you don't have the fiber, then you don't necessarily have anything to force things out into the edges and corners in your intestines to give you diverticulitis. All right, I know that, like I said, that was a little bit TMI. I do apologize. But I love sharing this stuff. I'm passionate about this stuff because I really do believe that it can change people's lives for the better. And that's why I want to share this. I do want to share another YouTube channel with y'all. So my parents, they now partake in this as well, and they find a lot of great tips and recipes from this channel, and that is Laura Spath. I will put a link to her down in the description. Been following her for a year. I've been a member of her. She has like a community where you can have one-on-one conversations. She even does, I think, weekly live streams with just her members. So it's a group of people that are encouraging each other through this lifestyle while they're going through. Honestly, you're going to get ridiculed by a lot of regular society when you go down this path. So it's nice to be a member of a community where you guys can share stories and build each other up. But Laura Spath and her husband both lost well over 100 pounds each, dramatic weight loss. And they have a lot of awesome recipes. And I've been so, like, I kind of am getting kind of boring with it. I've kind of fallen into what works for me. I love taking a chuck roast and slicing it up into a little steak and grilling it on the Blackstone. And I'll do it again and again and again and again because it works and it's delicious and I look forward to it every day. But Laura Spath really brings a lot of variety to it. And I've been very happy that my parents have actually been taking to that, and they tell me what they've been trying out and trying Laura Spath's recipes. And I'm like, that's really awesome. Kind of need to go hang out with my mom now and have her make me some carnivore recipe stuff. Wink, Mom, wink. All right, so please go check out Laura Spath's channel, see what you can learn from her about the carnivore lifestyle. And that's all I've got for this today. I know it's not very RV related. I tried doing a video, I really did, where I was going to show you what I was making for our RV travel day in preparation. But I had a fire on the Blackstone, so maybe there'll be a link somewhere around here to the story about the fire on the Blackstone. All right, remember that life happens. Don't let it stop you. Get out there, enjoy this country, enjoy your family. Stay fresh, cheese bags.